If you don't create a compelling future, even though it's difficult now, you got to remember this is the season. Winter comes and winter goes. Some winters are hard, some are soft, some are long, some are short. But what always follows winter, thank God, is the springtime. What always follows the night is the day. You just got to work on yourself. I mean, for things right now, it's like we got to do our part. For things to change, my original teacher was a guy named Jim Rohn. He used to say to me, for things to change, you got to change. For things to get better, you got to get better. And I think if we can not just get out of the fear a little bit, that doesn't mean don't do what the government tells you. I don't want to be misinterpreting me. They're telling you to social distance. Whatever they tell you to do it, comply. But don't let fear control you. That's my message. Start to create a vision for where you want to go. And then the third step is make it the way you want to see it. And in order to do that, you've got to put yourself in a place where you're doing something to build up inside. So as a business owner, specifically, every business owner always should be working on two businesses. The business they're in and the business they're going to become. Because if you think of it this way, if you just work on the business you want to become, then you have no cash flow and you got some problems. If you just work on the business you're in, then your IBM and Microsoft takes you. The media is no longer designed to educate us or inform us. It's designed to startle you because we're not in an information society anymore, right? We're drowning in information. We're starving for wisdom. And so they know if they startle you, if they upset you, if they excite you, you're going to click on the button, you're going to go there, and that's how they get paid. So it's not them, but we have to make our own decision. But the larger question is, you got to look and see examples, because what happens in our brain is when we're fearful, there's no way. And the answer is, you and I both started with nothing. We started with our ability to understand that we are not just the manager of our circumstances, that with God's power and help, we're the creator of our lives, right? We know how to create again. And you have to stop thinking about putting Humpty Dumpty back together again the same way, because it's not going to happen. What you got to say is, okay, what is the need right now, and how can I adapt and serve? That's why I always say in business, the worst mistake businesses make is they fall in love with their product or service. We all do that. But you got to fall in love with your client and see what they need. You have to draw a line in the sand that says, I want to find the way to serve. If you're trying to figure to survive, and I understand you got to survive, but you'll never survive by focusing on survival. You only survive by focusing on serving and figuring out more about what does your client or ideal customer need, want, desire, fear. What need can I meet that can be irresistible and necessity right now? And then how can I make that offer so irresistible and so over-deliver that I spring my business up? The way out of your fear is to serve somebody else who's got it worse off. Because, like, what's a problem? You know, you're driving home before COVID-19 and you're bumper traffic. You think it's a big problem because you're late. But then your car overheats, and now you got to try and figure out how to push your car 4 lanes over and people honking and screaming at you. Now it's not a traffic problem, it's a car problem, right? Now you go to your cell phone to call for some help and there's no coverage, and so you walk a mile and you go down the off-ramp and you trip and break your ankle. Now is the traffic a problem, right? Is your car a problem? No. Now you go to the hospital to get your ankle set, and while you're there, you get a phone call and it's a text. And it says, I'm leaving you, the one you used to love. Now your ankle's not the problem, the traffic's not the problem, your car's not the problem. Then you get home and get a phone call from the doctor who did your blood work and he says you have a tumor. Like, what's a problem? It's, all relative, my dear friends. And our goal as humans, what makes us humane, what makes us the spiritual side of humanity, what makes us, I think, what we are, is our willingness and our desire to serve. We'll do more for others we love than we'll even do for ourselves. And the research now shows that if you will give, even to strangers that you don't know and never see again, the simple act of giving, because they can see by your saliva, they can check what hormones are stimulated in you. You can sit there and buy 10 people a cup of coffee or 5 people a cup of coffee you don't even know while you're standing in line, and the response and the biochemical uplift from that is stronger than if you would have gone and spent thousands of dollars, right? Were you doing it on yourself to get something? I did this when I had nothing. That's why I'm here. Same as you, I know, my brother. If you won't give a dime out of a dollar, I promise you're not going to give 10 million out of 100 million or 100 million out of a billion or any other ratio like that. I can remember one of the worst days of my life. I was working my tail off. I was studying personal development. I was working with this guy, Jim Rohn, sleeping in my car, trying to figure out how to help people, but I was so frustrated. I'm studying all this, I'm working so hard, I got my little business here. Why is it not growing? Why is it not going? And I was feeling so sorry for myself, and I was driving back from Orange County, California on the 57 freeway. We live in this place called Pomona, California. And late at night, nobody on the freeway, and I'm angry, frustrated. God, tell me why. And then I'll never forget the moment. I still have the journal. I pulled over on the side of the road and I wrote on one page, "The secret to living is giving." I just started crying because I realized when I started, it was all about my giving, but then I got into success or failure and trying to pay my bills and all that stuff, and I forgot my real purpose. And I recommitted, things got better, and then I ran through another, when you're in business and you're learning. And so I had some learnings, and they were painful learnings. All of a sudden I was broke again. And I remember I was in this little apartment in Venice, California, before Venice was a decent place, and a real rough spot, 400 square foot bachelor apartment, washing my dishes on these hot plates on the trash can, and washing the dishes in the bathtub and cooking on the little plate. Feeling sorry for myself, watching Luke and Laura on a program called General Hospital in those days, feeling sorry for myself. I was really in this incredible pity pot. And I had, $22, $23, $24 and some change to my name and not paid my bills. I didn't know how I was gonna eat. So I thought, I'm gonna go to one of those all-you-can-eat salad bars and load up for the winter. And I lived in Venice, so Marina del Rey was only like 3 miles away, and they have these boats on the water. I thought, I gotta change my consciousness. I'll find a place there. There's a place called El Chorrito. It's a little Mexican-filled place, and salad bar and burritos and stuff, right on the water. So I didn't drive my car because I couldn't afford the parking and didn't want to spend the gas money. So I walked, and I got there, life-changing experience. I'm sitting there, I'm feeding my face, focusing on my own survival, and then looking out the window and seeing these giant people with their giant yachts and have this great lifestyle. And it's like, I knew I'd learned that the quality of life is the quality of your service. I knew that the more value you add to other human beings, the better you can do. These people aren't just lucky. I could just blame them, or I could go, what are they doing that's adding value to other people more than anyone else? And so I was thinking about those things and trying to get out of my pity pot and starting to get a little bit more intelligent. And then this beautiful woman walks in the front door, and I was a very young man, so I couldn't help but look. And I waited to see if there was a man with her. Of course there was, and he was about, 3.5 feet tall, wearing a suit and a tie, and he looked like you, Bishop. He's like just dressed to the nines, baby. It was like, he was gorgeous. But what struck me was how he held the door for his mom, how he pulled out the chair for her, the way he looked intently into her eyes. I literally was emotionally moved. I was teary-eyed. I don't know what it was, my own thing of my own mother. I don't know what it was, but it would move me. And so I got up, paid the bill, $4.95, whatever it was. And I got whatever I got, 16, 17, 18, 19 bucks, whatever's left in my pocket. I had no plan. I just walked up to this little boy because I was so moved by him. I didn't look at the woman. I shook his hand, introduced myself. And I said, listen, I just wanted to acknowledge what a gentleman you are. I said, you're a class act. I saw you held the door for your lady, how you pulled out the chair, you're paying attention, you're taking her to lunch. And he goes, well, she's my mom. I said, well, even better. He goes, well, I'm not taking her lunch because, I'm only 8. I said, yes, you are. And I reached in my pocket. I had no plan, I swear. And I just slammed all the money I had on earth, including the change on the table right there in front of him. And his eyes got big as garbage can covers. And he goes, I can't take that. And I said, of course you can. He said, how come? I said, because I'm bigger than you are. And then I just smiled. I didn't say another word. And I stormed out of that place. And then I got out. There was no car. Bishop, it was grace. Because I didn't do it for stars in my chart. I didn't do it to look good. I did it because it was right. And I got home and I had no fear. And I woke up the next morning. This is prior to the internet, so you still had your snail mail. And mine was all bills. And I thought, wow, I don't have any food and I don't have any money. But I didn't have any fear. And then I'm going through the bills, and there's a handwritten note, true story. I open it up, and it's from this guy that I loaned $1,200 to like 2 years before, when that was a lot of money for me. And I had chased him for months trying to get that money because I needed to survive, and he wouldn't even return my calls. Apology letter, here's your money, and a little interest. In those days, that would have fed me for a month. But the beauty was, I just started to cry. But it was grace tears,
Yes.
And I just like, it's like, well, why did this happen? And I don't know what's true, but the meaning that my brain and God gave me at that time was, you did what was right, and so you're rewarded. You didn't do it because others thought so. I can tell you honestly, Bishop, I've been through, 54 companies. I've been through the ups and downs. In the early days, some of those companies look like go bankrupt, changes in the economy, things like what we've done right now. I've never gone back to that place. And so I tell the story because I want your listeners that are in a tough place to realize, like, when all you got is seed corn, you got to plant it, brothers and sisters. You got to give something If you do that, it will change your psychology. It'll teach your brain true faith. It'll teach your brain there's more than enough. And it'll make you into a giver instead of one that needs.